Minority Leader calls for a comprehensive audit into festivals hosted by the THA Tourism Division. Live bait project launched in Tobago. PAHO warns of SARS-CoV-2 in the Americas. And we tell you about a Tobago drifter drifting his way to the top. Good evening, I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards. This is your Tobago Updates television news for Thursday, 11th January 2024. To our top story this evening, Minority Leader Kelvin Morris is calling for a comprehensive audit into festivals hosted by the Division of Tourism. He disclosed that he sent a letter to the Auditor General to audit the Tobago festivals as he detailed the cost of the first Tobago Carnival in 2022. Here's more.
Minority Leader Kelvin Morris has made a request for a comprehensive audit into the Tobago Carnival and all other festivals hosted by the Division of Tourism.
For the period January 1st, 2022 to the period to present. So we are calling for a comprehensive audit into the hosting of all these festivals to ensure that these discrepancies that exist can be reconciled.
Morris made it clear that he is not making any accusations, but he will allow the chips to fall where they may at the end of the audit. This stemmed from his inquiry about the cost of the first Tobago Carnival held in 2022, which was estimated at about $17 million.
We were told that it was more. After the carnival came and end, the secretary told us it was about 12.5 million or so. Subsequent to that, there was a media report where the secretary in that media report indicated that it was in fact $9.2 million that was actually spent.
He claimed that the money was split between the Tobago Festivals Commission and the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited. Morris also shared that the minority had posed a question to the Secretary of Tourism, Tashia Boris, and in her response, they received detailed itemized listings of all the suppliers and services that were paid.
All the suppliers of services that were paid. We did the calculation under the division, under the Tourism Agency Limited. It amounted to something like $2.155 million, and under the Tobago Festivals Commission, it amounted to about $4.8 million, and that was a total of $6.8 million. So if you do the arithmetic.
Morris continued by saying that it was a total of $6.8 million and that it was a difference of over $2.4 million. He said that he wants to ask the secretary where the money has gone. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
After languishing in storage, collecting dust for over 20 years, a specialized fishing vessel and a set bait equipment are now being brought out to kickstart a live bait industry. The Tobago Agribusiness Development Company, TADCO, invited the media to witness the unveiling of the equipment that has remained dormant on their compound for 2 decades. Reporter Candice Jackson was present and brings us this report.
TFG 2165, christened Karen, will soon get her chance to skip over the waves with specialized equipment after
these things were done for like 20 years,
Chairman of TADCO, Ricardo Alfred, explained that Karen, set bait nets, buoys and anchors were part of an initiative to begin a live bait industry in Tobago. It was all donated by the Japanese government 2 decades ago, but never utilized. Karen, which was specially designed for Tobago, never even touched the water.
Definitely is a vessel that has a very good buoyancy. It's designed to, it can take about up to 10 men that can tilt on one side without capsizing. So it was designed because you will have to pull the bait out of the water. It's going to go into a catchment area that needs to be removed every morning, and you sell the bait from there.
Set baiting is a type of fishing that traps live bait, especially for fishermen in the long line industry.
It basically is a stationary net that designed to allow a certain type of fish to pass through and to trap a certain size. Fish swims in patterns, so the set net is just designed to do that. So it's a very huge net.
It is an environmentally safe and sustainable way of catching bait.
Nothing is killed in the set net. It's live bait.
Meaning that large marine creatures such as turtles that might be caught in the nets can easily be released without any harm. After lamenting over the lost revenue and the vessel's potential, President of the All Tobago Fisherfolk Association, Curtis Douglas, is excited to test the equipment at Plymouth Bay.
We also contribute to food security, we contribute to the processors, to the divers, to tourism. As Mr. Alfred clearly said, we will now be able to carry people and fish and let go, sport fishing.
Over the next few weeks, TADCO, ADFA and fishermen from the community will be assessing the equipment, conducting necessary repairs and testing it out in Plymouth. If successful, it will be used in Castara and Palatavere or any other bay with sufficient depth. Secretary of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, Natisha Charles Pantin, said they will continue to make the best use of resources within the THA for Tobago's development.
This division has been dusting out, things that have been, practically not in use for quite a while. That was demonstrated with the Botanic Gardens for Christmas, and now we have an exciting industry to build out.
Our newsroom will bring you further updates as the set bait industry continues to be developed. Stay tuned. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Now to some news regarding crime in Tobago. PNM Tobago Council's PRO Lawrence Hislop has expressed confidence in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Tobago, to curb the ongoing gun violence in Tobago. Hislop, who also serves as government senator, touched on the issue of crime on the island during a PNM press conference today. He said he's confident that the TTPS is serious about reducing the level of gun violence on the island.
We want to wholeheartedly support the police service and ask them to even ramp up greater initiatives that will seek to curb what we are facing.
Hislop continued that while they encouraged the police to ramp up their efforts, he pointed out that there has to be a level of understanding from the public that when the TTPS takes certain measures, they should not chastise them for it.
We ought to see it from the perspective that the police service is doing their function. To assist in curbing what we all see as a scourge on our island.
He also stated that security is not only the responsibility of the police service, but also the THA.
And so we are calling, we understand that national security is not the responsibility of the Tobago House of Assembly, but everything else that can treat or that can assist in reducing our crime scourge is the responsibility of the Tobago House of Assembly.
He suggested greater community development and sport as a way to keep young people engaged and away from a life of crime. Well, coming up next, PAHO warns of SARS-CoV-2 and how to prevent it. The details when we return.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Ansa Makal Group.
Yo everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Stobay, Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee, as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Hey, you come in. Long time I see you, Joe. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yeah. Total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two, better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Welcome back. During the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee meeting on Wednesday, Deputy Permanent Secretary Wendy Hernandez-Guy from the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services revealed that no research has been done about the effects of the rise in fuel costs on the poor. Here's more.
Member of the committee, Randall Mitchell, questioned Mrs. Hernandez-Guy on the increase in fuel costs and if it has motivated the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services to adjust its standard means test to capture more persons or move the non-poverty line upwards.
Presently, the ministry has not taken any step to do so.
Mitchell also questioned if there was no significant adverse impact on the poor to increase the social benefits that the ministry offers.
We believe at the ministry that the poor and indigent have been impacted just as other citizens by the fuel cost increase. However, in order for the ministry to increase these prices, we need inputs from outside of our space to do so.
Hernandez-Guy said work is currently being done by the Central Statistical Office and they are hoping to gain information to look carefully at where the poverty line is.
That would allow the ministry to take the necessary steps to go forward in making recommendations for increasing, if that is the case, the grants that we have at the ministry. We are presently providing at the ministry.
Hernandez-Guy highlighted that although the ministry does not have data that speaks to the negative impact people are experiencing, they do know that they are experiencing negative impacts from the rise in fuel costs. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
Akil Smith, a Tobagonian drifter, became the first person from Tobago to win the Drift Motion Pro 1 Championship 2023, hosted by the Trinidad and Tobago Drift Association. This professional drifting series attracts some of the country's top drifters. He has some advice for upcoming drifters in this story by Tanika Cruikshank.
Drifter and owner of Innovative Auto Performance, Akil Smith, noted he was introduced to drifting by his colleague Kamal Abdulakim.
Well, my love for drifting started basically, I can't remember the year, but it could have been about 5 years ago. About 5 years ago. I used to drag before, but I was introduced to the drifting. But at that time, it was looking like wild out, like they're spinning your car on the road, like just wasting time. But after I did the research, I realized that it's a skilled sport. It requires plenty of skill.
Since then, he has risen to high ranks within the Drifting Association. Notwithstanding this, Smith was shocked when he was announced the winner of the 2023 Drift Motion Pro 1 Championship. He just could not believe he had defeated so many talented drifters from Trinidad.
I know plenty fellas go to Trinidad and try. Some may fail, some may succeed, but I succeeded. I know plenty. It does always have a rivalry between Trinidad and Tobago to see who have the best or what, but that opened the eyes, me winning the championship opened the eyes to the talent that Tobago have.
Smith expressed his gratitude to God for the opportunities he has received. His spirituality has kept him grounded and focused on his passion, drifting. But what is drifting really? Well, he gave us an explanation.
Basically, it's all about controlling the car out of control, if you understand what I say. It's like when you watch it first time, you'll be like the car out of control, but when you watch what is going on, you see that the person have control over the car going in an order that it wasn't made to go. It was made to go straight, but we just take it and go sideways.
He claimed although it may seem easy and enjoyable from the outside, it is a difficult sport to master. He shared some advice for anyone desirous of entering into the sport.
If you're looking into the sport as on a hype vibes, best leave it alone. Because on a hype vibes, if for instance, I will be driving down the road with my car, and well, plenty users reach out to me and shout out, Smith, hey, Jesus youth, and they might say, leave something. If you don't have that discipline, you might leave something, they knowing that you can't control the car fully, and they might either bounce them down, or you might bounce your car, and after they say that, they laugh and leave you right there to fend for yourself. So
Smith claimed there's much more to look forward to this year, as he revealed plans to travel outside of Trinidad and Tobago for drifting. Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
Up next, top Tobago Calypsonian sees a positive future for Calypso in Tobago. The details of that story and more when we return.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Car Clinic, located right here in Tobago at Tobago Local Road. You can WhatsApp us or call us at 366-4173.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Do more, live more.
Welcome back. The future of Calypso seemed to have taken a back seat, overshadowed by genres like soca, dominating the airwaves. However, Ainsley King, the president of the Tobago Unified Calypsonians Association, TUCO, is optimistic that a shift is underway, and this change makes for a promising future for one of the nation's indigenous musical genres. Candace Jackson, again with the details.
The Calypso Monarch 2024 is less than a month away, but TUCO President Ainsley King has high expectations.
This season, as short as it is going to create some excitement, and it is going to bring some fresh surprises, because I went into the office 2 days ago, and when I look at the registration for the competition, the National Monarch, I was amazed to see that we were able to attract a lot of people.
Without wanting to give too much away, King is confident that citizens would be proud of what they see on stage.
Because it tells us that something positive is happening, and this was my desire when I became president, because it was about expanding and bringing more strength, and that could only happen if you're seeing an increase, if you're seeing people that normally don't participate in Calypso participating in Calypso.
He also praised the performances at TUCO's Calypso tent in Tobago. King conveyed his admiration for the presentations he witnessed and called on the Calypso community in Tobago to collaborate for a better future for the art form.
It's throw away the selfishness, the greed. Work together, because there's a bigger picture. A better music platform or industry for Tobago is going to work for your children and for everybody.
Looking ahead, King believes it is high time for Calypso to claim its spot on the world stage. He said over the years, the local art form has made several attempts to put Trinidad and Tobago on the map, but there were many mistakes. International exposure was never maximized, and the art form was mixed with too many genres.
We were not successful in maintaining an identity, but the Jamaicans was able to do that, and you find respect becomes a challenge, because if you have something that you want to sell and it sounds like everything, you will have a challenge.
He intends to change that and is hopeful that contributions to Carnival 2024 will play a significant role in this effort. In the meantime, auditions for this year's Calypso Monarch are set to begin on Saturday. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Nothing but allegations, oh Lord, but to those who would benefit.
Staying with Carnival, as Tobago's musical envoys make their way to Trinidad for the Panorama 2024 Small Conventional Finals, Tobago Updates continues to bring you an intimate look at each band's story, continuing with the spotlight on First Citizens Tobago Panthers. Trevicia Phillips has part 2 of this series called Rhythmic Odyssey.
The Panorama 2024 Small Conventional Finals will be held tomorrow night in Trinidad. In an exclusive interview with First Citizens Tobago Panthers band manager, Brian Thomas, he emphasized the role of the band's arranger, Michael Toby. Thomas said he always gives the band arranger the privilege of choosing the song each year because the arranger knows the best ways to craft the songs for optimal results.
We wanted a song that, that not much band has played in the past, and it's zesty and no portray the kind of personality of the band, because the band has a lot of young people. So when he said I presented teaser to me, I said say no more, we are going with that.
Speaking on the band's performance outlook, Thomas acknowledged the competitiveness of the field.
So I will not say confident of coming first, but what I know, I'm confident of a band getting a top position in Friday night's competition.
He noted challenges faced by the band, including financial constraints for timely preparations and concerns about late night travel due to the current crime situation.
The players pool in Tobago is very limited, and most of the players are playing with other bands, so we have to schedule practices around other band practice. So once we got that kind of system in place, things run a little smoother.
Expressing his belief that PAN serves as a positive outlet for youth, Thomas sees it as a form of crime prevention, keeping young people off the streets after hours. Responding to the notion that PAN is in danger due to a lack of youth participation, this is what he had to say.
But I would like to debunk that saying, because right now the only people who play in PAN are the youths, and the older population or the mature populations are the listeners. So I would like to encourage you to continue in the PAN tent.
Regarding their playing position at number 12, Thomas boasts of the band's readiness for any position.
So playing at number 12, to me, although it's a good number, but I am prepared, or the band is prepared to play at any number, that was picked. If it was number 1, we'd have been ready at the same time, the same way. We just prepare mentally and physically for whatever position that we play.
As the First Citizens Tobago Panthers prepare to grace the Panorama stage, the anticipation grows for a performance that promises to showcase Tobago's rich musical heritage. Travicia Phillips, Tobago Updates Television News.
So, as a UWI Mona student and Bishop's High School alumna, Colonel Hazel, commonly known as Selectory Wati, is establishing a reputation for himself in Jamaica. Tobago shines once more. We have the highlights in this story.
Colonel Hazel, a Roxborough resident, is currently a student DJ at UWI Mona, where he's pursuing a degree. He has been doing this for around 9 years, and it quickly became his passion.
So my love of DJ started, let's say, around age 12, when I was actively engaged with song systems in my community. I want to big up Radical Songs as well. So going to small gigs, setting up song systems, I was like, this is something that I enjoy doing, and eventually I started playing around and eventually playing with the music.
Hazel pointed out that being a DJ is a difficult talent since it involves more than just choosing and playing recorded music for an audience.
So normally people just see DJs as, just mixing and pressing a set of buttons while on stage, but DJing is actually more than that. It's a lot of research, building crates and stuff, taking time to know your music, analyze your music, know when the crowd is going to react to this music, reading the crowd and such.
When questioned about how he manages his job and school life, Hazel noted that setting priorities is important.
School and music, it's balancing it is something that is easy to me, being that I've been doing it so long. I always try to prioritize both, in the sense that no one gets more attention than one. So for example, if I know I have schoolwork to do, I prioritize my schoolwork first, because at the end of the day I'm currently studying abroad for a degree, and that's my main purpose of coming here.
Though he had setbacks, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, Hazel left some inspirational remarks for any aspiring DJ.
There will be down moments, but regardless, you have to find the motivation and the discipline to really push on, especially if it is something that that you would like to do. You keep pushing. You might get knocked down, but it takes drive and determination to keep pushing.
Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
PNM Tobago political leader talks about autonomy. More about that when we return.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Is another epidemic threatening our twin island? Should we be masking up and social distancing again? Get this, the Northern Hemisphere, which includes Trinidad and Tobago, is now seeing high levels of acute respiratory disease activity, including influenza-like illness and severe acute respiratory infection. Here's what PAHO has to say about it in this report.
Pan-America Health Organization has issued a warning to countries in the Americas, which includes Trinidad and Tobago, about the circulation of SARS-CoV-2 influenza and respiratory syncytial viruses. PAHO advised member states to maintain surveillance of the respiratory viruses to detect any change in circulation or severity of disease, to be prepared to respond to a possible increase in cases and hospitalization, and continue efforts to increase vaccination against influenza and COVID-19, particularly in vulnerable and high-risk populations. In the last few weeks, there has been reports of high levels of acute respiratory disease activity. PAHO says the greatest defense against this is to be vaccinated. Wear your mask in a public or busy area, physically distance yourself from others, wash your hands often, and refrain from touching your mouth, nose, or eyes. If you feel ill or come into contact with someone who has COVID-19, you should stay at home and isolate yourself. Dr. Faith B. Yisrael, Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, is expected to update Tobagonians on the THA's plan to deal with the latest development. Tanika Cookshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
Political leader of the People's National Movement, Tobago Council, Ansel Dennis, emphasized the importance of autonomy for Tobago. Dennis said back in 2016 there was a collective understanding that the objective of autonomy extended beyond individual political and personal interests.
And therefore, it has to come to a point where we agree to disagree, or we agree that the majority view, right, should be supported over personal view.
During his statement, Dennis underscored the need for consensus, suggesting that a point must be reached where parties either agree to disagree or support the majority view over personal perspectives. Reflecting on the legislative process in 2016 under Chief Secretary of London, Dennis pointed out that no bill enters the Parliament and gets passed in its original form, as legislation involves debates, seeking advice and compromises.
Due to the intervention of the Tobago-born Prime Minister, the process was moved through the Joint Select Committee. I think it went through two periods, right? The 2015 to 2020 period, and then it went over to the next parliamentary period after that 2020 election, and then the bills finally came out sometime in 2021. Following the 6-6 tie.
Acknowledging the diverse opinions expressed during the legislative process, Dennis noted that while some individuals support certain aspects of the bill, others hope for improvements. Now for the weather update from the T&T Met office tonight. Anticipate mostly clear and cool weather despite the occasional overnight shower associated with a weak low-level trough. Temperatures are expected to drop to a cool of 24 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow, sunshine will be intermittently interrupted by a few showery spells, particularly during the afternoon and evening periods. The overnight forecast is generally fair with 1 or 2 lingering showers. Temperatures are forecasted to rise to 32 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 36 degrees Celsius. Seas are moderately rough with waves reaching up to 2.2 meters in open waters and remaining below 1 meter in sheltered areas. The sun shall rise at 6:25 a.m. and set at 5:56 p.m. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Let's recap the headlines before we go. Minority Leader calls for a comprehensive audit into festivals hosted by the THA Tourism Division. Live Bait project launched in Tobago. PAHO warns of SARS-CoV-2 in the Americas. And the Tobago drifter has drifted his way to the top. I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards. From all of us at Tobago Updates, have a good night.